big developments in crypto. All 5 Bitcoin ETF applications from the CBOE have added surveillance sharing agreements with Coinbase. Pressure builds on the SEC to approve. So the question is, and the question that will remain, will the SEC approve this? Look at Coin right now. I want to talk about this amendment that was just made on these filings. It's a very big deal for the progression of this story. It is of no surprise, everybody. This is me. This always happens. This is something I tweeted. This was just the other day. I mean, June 30th. I said, Coinbase isn't going anywhere. And if things play out well enough over the next few weeks relating to SEC headlines, Coin looks prime for some conservative 200 to 300% gains. And you can see, just as of today, this one headline that's coming out, Coin making a really nice move, but it's been trending up. Since I tweeted that, 27%. Did I get exposure to Coin when I tweeted that? No, I didn't. And that's just typical. But I want to track that. That's what's happening with Coin. There are other developments breaking today as well as all of this news is happening. I want to talk about this. The institutions, they are coming, everybody. And there have been signs all along over the years. But this is the amendment that was made on Coinbase. And then we're going to talk about a really big institution, $7 trillion assets under management. Big story breaking right now as well. CBOE has filed amendments for all 5 of their Bitcoin ETF applications. The one change I can find is different language about CBOE's surveillance sharing agreement with Coinbase, changing from expecting to enter to reached an agreement on terms. So he posted the kind of 2 filings right there. I'm not sure if we'll be too zoomed in, but there it is. On June 21st, 2023, the exchange reached an agreement on terms with Coinbase. That's a big development in this story. Now, obviously, it's having an immediate impact on Coinbase for obvious reasons. When it comes to something like Bitcoin, this is Bitcoin, it's still just trending. There's nothing crazy happening. We can go to a daily or even just a 4-hour chart. The news is not impacting Bitcoin too much at all on the short term. So I just wanted to make note of that. Will the news catch up to Bitcoin? Will Bitcoin have a breakout? Something to keep an eye on. But the other side of this story is the development of institutions coming on board. And so here's the headline from today. Vanguard now owns $560 million worth of Bitcoin mining stocks. That's a $7.2 trillion asset manager. So Vanguard Group has upped its exposure to Bitcoin mining companies. Now, what's funny about this, I just want to point this out right off the bat. This is an article from Vanguard, November 2021, cryptocurrencies and Vanguard. What we think, just some things to note. This volatility makes cryptocurrencies impractical as a medium of exchange, risk without reward. Unlike stocks and bonds, cryptos don't pay dividends or cash payments, therefore don't offer any intrinsic value for the sizable amount of risk. Cryptocurrencies are largely unregulated. Cryptocurrency exchanges are subject to breaches, disruptions, and failures that can jeopardize investors. November 2021. I have to give them a bit of credit. This was November 2021. At least they posted this towards the top of the bull market and not something like towards the bottom of a bear market, right? We see that time and time again. So got to give them props in that regard at the very least. But that was 2021 headline. Now here's the 2023 headline, increasing its stake in the industry to over $500 million. The financial industry heavyweight, which manages $7.2 trillion, bought more stocks from Riot Platforms and Marathon Digital. So Marathon Digital, they have $280 million in shares, $280 million in shares. The investment company also increased its stake in Colorado-based Bitcoin miner Riot's blockchain by nearly 18% from 15.2 million shares to 17.9 million shares, or over 281 million. So basically, it's like $500 million that they have exposure now. And isn't that something else? Now, here's the thing. I said just a couple minutes ago, the signs have kind of been there all along for a while now. This is a headline from April, but this was Fidelity, Bank of America, indirect exposure to Bitcoin through MicroStrategy. If you all remember, we've been monitoring that. And look who's on this list, the Vanguard Group. You can just see they're on this list. Fidelity, there's BlackRock, there's Morgan Stanley, getting this indirect exposure to Bitcoin. And so the signs have been there. And obviously this was kind of a more recent development. I wouldn't say this is years ago, but a more recent development. And then look at the flip that has happened so quickly in regards to all of these institutions, all of these big players, and these headlines, they keep falling. They just keep coming every week. NASDAQ refiles for BlackRock spot Bitcoin ETF. You all know this was a huge story. This was like last week. They refiled, naming Coinbase as surveillance partner, and it's all just tying together. Institutions really just not even so much dipping their toes. They're trying to jump in, right? And this is just the perfect illustration. Here's Larry Fink, as you know, in 2017, so bearish on Bitcoin, and here he is. This was like a week ago.
Bitcoin is an international asset. Bitcoin is an international.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy. Here's Jay Clayton. You might have seen this yesterday talking about Bitcoin spot ETFs.
You know, it would be hard to resist approving a Bitcoin ETF.
Hard to resist approving Bitcoin ETF. Where were you, Jay? Years ago when you were actually the chair of the SEC. And it's on and on and on, everybody. You know the development of all these stories that have been tying together, but this is just another one. Very, very interesting just to see Coinbase react to this news. It's a big development, and we'll just continue tracking all of these things. I think this tweet says it very well, though. Pressure builds on the SEC to approve. The question is, will they approve? And there is just a lot of debate about that. A lot of debate from people within crypto that might not want the SEC to approve. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below, everybody. I really appreciate you cruising through. If you're not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. God bless.